Worm, prepare yourself. Damn Saiyan.
I never thought or could have imagined how many of the Pride Troopers were going to get benched all at once in just one episode. I believe we lost 6 Pride Troopers so far, but we lost 5 of them in this episode. And there's really only one thing of importance that really happens in this episode. So this episode review essentially is going to be pretty short. The Pride Troopers, all their powers were pretty interesting. The only real name that I can remember from the 5 that got kicked off were Casserole and Coquette. But the one interesting power was from the guy who could make himself a lot heavier, and that was pretty interesting, as using this sort of training tool that the Z Fighters have been using for a very long time, or at least Vegeta has, and using it against them as an attack. That was actually pretty interesting to see. The spinning guy, I mean, we've seen spinning guys before from the Ginyu Force. The chick that used that made sort of different pocket universes that can't be broken unless, you know, Kale decides to break them. Down was pretty cool. I actually liked her design the best out of the ones that just got kicked off, but we should have some other ones that that survive. We have Topo, we have Jiren, and I believe we have, with 6 of them gone, we have 2 more after that. Both androids are going to be a force to be reckoned with. I mean, I would put 17 on his own, very powerful, but it seems like 18 throughout the course of the tournament has unleashed some sort of primal urge. Like, she's gotten stronger, and she's gotten even more powerful just by being next to and fighting with Android 17. And the duo is actually really cool, because it kind of gives you the sense that if one of them is eliminated, then they won't be as powerful. And we've seen now that they are more powerful than most of the Pride Troopers. I would put them as stronger than most of the fighters left, but more than likely at some point, this is just a speculation, more likely at some point I feel like one of them is going to be kicked off or taken blindsided, and then the other one is going to fall soon after, because of the fact that they you know, their strength comes with fighting together. But this I don't put too much emphasis on this, because of the fact that we had 17 fight by himself against Goku, and he did fairly well, so who knows what's really going to happen with them. But I definitely like to see more of them, because 17 is just such a badass in this, and 18 is getting there. They're getting to the point where, you know, how cool they were in the Android Saga and the History of Trunks movie, so definitely enjoyed that. I wanted to go ahead and give a quick shout out to Joel Narbars from my Revenge of Biofrost video, which is my last video. You can find the link in the description below if you haven't seen it already. But he states in the comment section, "Your channel is going to explode soon. You're one of the only people I subscribe to with less than 10k in subs, but your production value is better than a lot of 100k channels." Yeah. I thank you for this comment. It actually meant a lot to me. As soon as I read it, it uplifted me throughout the day, made me feel real good. I try real hard to put my channel aside from everyone else's channel. A lot of people are doing Dragon Ball Super stuff, so you have to be different. You can't be the same as everybody else. You can't be getting lazy with your production value or whatever how you're working on the videos. You can't just, you know, put on a picture of Goku and then talk about your thoughts on Dragon Ball Super. No, you have to have a little bit more in there. So I appreciate this comment. My goal is to get to 100k subs eventually. Whether that takes a year or 10 years, who knows. Thank you again. Jiren has a complete and total advantage against Goku, and I say this because, as we've seen, even Topo was like, hey, let's fall back and reserve our strength to Jiren. I've picked 5 guys to fight Goku. So they leave, and then Goku has to take on these guys. So Goku has been fighting essentially because he doesn't really have a head for strategy. He hasn't picked up the strategy of the battle royale, where you need to reserve your strength for the very end, because even at the very end, the Universe 11's God of Destruction, or Supreme Kai, was like, this isn't the time to be holding out our power. So that means they're going to start fighting seriously. They only got 4 guys left. And so with that being said, Goku is completely worn down at this point. Gohan is not worn down at all. and Vegeta probably a little, but not as much as Goku. Goku has been doing the brunt of the fighting and wasting most of his energy and most of his power throughout the tournament. So if they were fighting one-on-one, I mean, we don't really know too much about Jiren yet, but maybe Goku would have more of an advantage, or maybe not, mainly because he's a main character, but with that not even being an issue, maybe he would be sort of on par because they're evenly matched, because they haven't sustained any damage or exuded any energy. But now that Goku has, I don't know how they're going to have his fight and Jiren fight be, even, because Jiren hasn't fought anybody at this point. The main bread and butter of this episode was we finally get a actual storyline and more development for this Universe 6 female Saiyans. They had an actual moment like that our Universe 7 Saiyans have gotten, where that's the moments where they transform. And we finally got that Super Saiyan moment where Caulifla is trying to defend Kale and fight off the attack. The Pride Troopers are like, we can take these two out real easy, and then they fell back, which is strategically the best option, seeing as how they were really weak against Android 17 and Android 18. So we finally got, Caulifla putting it all on the line, and she didn't transform into anything spectacular. She was just, trying to defend Kale. But Kale transformed into the Super Saiyan transformation, which I knew that was going to happen. I knew they were going to just go into her Berserker Rage. Or her Berserker stage. I knew they were going to have something in between, just like Broly did. And so she has this more beefed up version of her regular Super Saiyan that's more likely stronger, maybe even on par as Super Saiyan 2-ish, around that area, I'm speculating. And then she's in control, even like the energy that exuded at her body, that really cool effect that you see, that circle blowing out of her body when she transforms. You could see that transforming into certain parts of her body because she's controlling the energy. And this had me thinking, okay, Kale has been really, I guess, weak looking for the majority of the time we've known her, except for her going into her Broly stage, or her Broly transformation. That is when we've seen her power. But Caulifla keeps telling us that she's her protege. He protege this, protege that, this and that, blah, 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 blah. And not really, and Kale hasn't really shown that she is a protege, but I mean, in this instinct, instead of transforming, she controlled her energy and controlled her power. And Caulifla is saying that she has full master over the power. Hopefully that's not the case. Hopefully she can still go berserk if her power, if she keeps building and building out of that power, maybe she can control it for a little bit. But even as soon as she said it, Kale popped right out of that form and ran out of energy. Even Goku's like, oh well, yeah, she ran out of energy, damn it, So for me, that kind of signifies that, yeah, she still has really not all the control over her power, but I'm glad they gave her some control over it. It's not as bad as in the Avengers movie, if you guys remember, where the Hulk is completely going berserk, and then in like one instance he comes back and now he's like following Captain America's orders. I know I threw a Marvel reference in there, but that's kind of what I saw it as, and that was honestly done worse in my opinion than this, because in this you can see her actually transforming, and she goes into a different transformation, which is just a regular Super Saiyan, transforms into that, and then transforms into the Broly transformation a little bit. So that means it makes me believe that yes, she has more control over this. So I definitely liked it. I loved her regular Super Saiyan transformation. It's a little bit bulkier. She's got full control of her power. I think that's what's going to happen. She's going to be pushed forward. Unless the universe gets erased, she's going to be pushed forward into trying to be more useful and less of a burden to Caulifla. So she's going to try to get stronger in that way. Not sure how they're going to save her universe. It'd be a shame to develop them throughout the tournament because we didn't get any development beforehand and then have them be erased. That would suck, in my opinion. The next episode we have Brienne. We've already gotten spoilers that her and her three friends, they all come fused together to become the more powerful, chubby Brienne. I guess maybe that's the name of the transformation. I'm not sure. I gotta look more into it. And they're gonna be fighting 17. Looks like they're giving 17 sort of a hard time. Vegeta's a Super Saiyan. It looks like she's almost like evenly matched or a little bit stronger than Vegeta, just from what we've seen in the intro and what we've seen in the next episode preview. But again, great episode. I like the animation. It was pretty good. It wasn't anything outstanding, but again, it had that part where I really enjoyed, where we finally get a Saiyan moment, a Super Saiyan moment, a Universe 7 Saiyan moment out of the Universe 6 Saiyans, which is always awesome. Anyway, let me know in the comments below what you guys thought of this episode. Drop me a like if you liked my video, and this is going to be Dragon Ball Black signing off.